prize up for grabs here for the Thunderstock drivers as they pack in that top groove. So Casey Huffman is electing to start at the tail of this one. That moves Brady Longboat to the outside of row number 1 next to Adam Hallett. Then Schwedick and Miller in row 2. Beagle and Mortensen row 3. Quinn and Lemaire row 4. Dickey and Hess row number 5. Here we go. Double green flags out from Kyle McKenzie.
Adam Hallett will lead them in on the bottom in the 18 car. Up on the outside, Brady Longboat as they all pile into 1 and 2. No, Hess gets turned around at 2. And now we've got a bit of a jingle. Somehow, Tommy, most of the field got out of that one.
Quinn took the 119 down the pit lane. And the 7X of Hess is leaking something out of the back. I think we may have to go yellow here. Hess gets off the track. We might stay green, actually. The 18 of Hallett leads the way, but here comes Longboat to the inside with a gun right out of corner 2.
So that will stay green out here for Adam Hallett. Just picked up this car off the asphalt, looking pretty good out front here in the number 18, but he's got the veteran Derek Lemaire hot on the rear bumper here in the Burger Barn 56.
Side by side for the lead. Lemaire is going to try to make it 3 wide. Now Longboat clears Hallett, but Lemaire is there to the inside of Hallett as well, just looking for a way around both of them.
Off the bottom, here comes the Burger Barn 56 of Derek Lemaire. Good run to the inside they go. Now he'll work underneath the Longboat 66 as Hallett still hanging tough there in the 3rd spot. Dickey on the inside of Beagle had to carve it to the left, and that brings Lampman underneath him.
Lampman, who got back to victory lane a couple weeks ago here at Ohsweken for the first time in a long time, is on the move in that 28 car. Problems on the 18 for Hallett. Tough break for him after starting at the front of this one. He will need to get off the track here if he can. Lemaire takes the lead now away from Longboat, and Bailey has made his way quickly up through the field. So Bailey, the next of the contenders, if you will, to make it up through from starting back in the pack.
Dave Bailey working the inside here of the Dickey number 1 out of 4. He'll pass him easily going into turn number 1 and set his sights up towards the leader, who's Derek Lemaire. He's got 2 cars between them before he can start to really concentrate on the battle for the lead.
So Lemaire has opened up a bit of a lead now over now second place driver Ryan Beagle as he gets around the 66 of Longboat. Here comes Bailey as well, the defending track champ. He takes 3rd away from Longboat. Longboat not going away though as they run side by side for the 3rd spot down the backstretch.
Out of turn 4, battle for 2nd now as Beagle trying to hold back Dave Bailey. They race hard through the groove here into turn 1 on the inside. Bailey working down low.
Lemaire and Bailey running some of the quickest laps we've seen all year in the Thunderstocks, as this track is very fast here tonight. Lemaire up front. Bailey may be starting to eat into that lead just a bit. Beagle is staying with Bailey pretty well right now. And then it's the 66 of Longboat and the 1 of Dickey rounding out the top 5.
Off of 4, works a few lap cars, and just behind them comes your leader, Derek Lemaire, with about a 10-car length lead on Dave Bailey, who will try and chase him down here with 10 laps to go. 10 and a half, actually, as they get to the midpoint of the back chute.
Bailey cut 0.4 of a second out of the lead that time by the stripe, as he is really gaining on Lemaire, who gets up out of the groove in turn 1 and 2, and Bailey is there now. Lemaire gets back in front of him though, halfway, 10 laps in and 10 to go with Lemaire up front. Bailey 2nd, Beagle 3rd, Longboat 4th, Dickey is 5th, then Lampman, Van Wert, Salt, Sargent. Now it's Dinning up into the top 10 as he is on the move in the number 8.
They've got their eye on the Jason Longaro number 7, smoking heavily out here right now. Going to be shown the black flag next time by as the battle for the lead starts to pick up. Lemaire broad slides hard through the middle of 1 and 2. Bailey comes along the inside, and we got a race for the lead.
And Bailey had to drop back there as both of them were getting around the slower car of Nick Liverance. Now Bailey comes back at Lemaire in turn 3 and 4. Still, it's Lemaire leading here with 12 laps on the board and 8 to go.
Bailey right up to the wall down the front straightaway, diamonds it back to the inside, pulls right up on the rear bumper. Oh, and now Jeremy May gets into the back of Longaro off of 4, and Longaro slow to the infield, and he will come into the attention of the crew as the battle for the lead still smoking up front.
Side by side for the lead at the stripe that time by Lemaire led the lap, but Bailey might lead this next one as he noses ahead of the 56 down the back straightaway. Bailey, though, sees Lemaire to the outside still in 3 and 4. Now Bailey clears him. Lemaire going to try to go back to the inside.
Off of 4, a whole pack coming back there. It's Lampman. He's running back in around 5th spot now. Needs to make up some ground, and just behind him, Ryan Dinning and Carl Salt on the move. Now Dinning cuts a right front flat, it looks like, in the 8 car. And the 54 Tobacco Machine going to have to head to the pits.
So that will put a dent in Ryan Dinning's points championship hopes. He'll have to make a comeback in the second feature later on tonight. 5 to go now as Bailey has gotten a few car lengths ahead of Lemaire, but heavy traffic now in Bailey's sights as Mike Graham and Steve Hess are the first ones he'll have to contend with.
Bailey right to the inside on the Graham 49. He will get that done, and Ryan Dinning going to try and limp around here a little bit more and get a finish if he can, but not doing himself any good as Lemaire. Wick slides down to the inside here on Graham, and he's still chasing after Bailey.
Dinning was just 3 points behind point leader Carl Salt coming into the night, so he is going to try to scrap for every point he can here, but that number 8 car is slowing dramatically now, and it looks like he's going to go to the pits. Bailey working on some more traffic as he still hasn't cleared the 7X of Hess up there, but Lemaire has not been able to make up much ground.
Bailey with 2 to go here at the stripe. He pulls up underneath a couple more back markers in the form of Schwedick and Hess, who had problems in the first lap or so in the 7X. And Bailey will come around to the white flag here off of turn number 4. The other thing on the line, Tommy, wings for a year from our friends at Pinty's.
Yeah, and you know Bailey wants that, and I know his partner definitely was interested in the wings back a few weeks ago, so we know she's cheering for Bailey right now. Lemaire, though, hasn't gone away yet.
Lemaire in the Burger Barn 56 will take one final stab here to the inside. Can't do it. It's going to be Dave Bailey. Grabs the Jibs Action Sports checkers here as he will win it on McDonald's of Paris and Brantford night, the Pinty's rained out event. And he will pick up wings for a year courtesy of our friends at Pinty's, and we'll talk to Dave later on tonight. We were going to do the victory lane right now, but in an effort to keep the program rolling, fans, how about it for Dave Bailey? Let him hear you loud and proud right now. We'll get him back out to talk in an effort to keep the show rolling for you great fans. We're going to keep hustling right into Empire Super Sprint qualifying. And we'll keep hustling.
20 laps